everyone, today I'll be showing you how to make this really cool snake scale bracelet. I also like to call it the Easter egg bracelet. That was my original name for it. As you can see, these little things pop up here. You can wear it on either side. It is comfortable on each. They are actually the exact same on each side, except one side has the little scale-like things. So let's get started. I don't know the exact number of bands, but I know it's going to be very high. So we're going to start with your border color. I'm going to be using pink. You're just going to do it from the center to the left, then the center to the right. Then you're just going to go straight up the loom, placing these bands in a single chain till you reach the end of the loom. I would suggest using high quality bands because this bracelet puts a lot of stress on your bands and your hook. I'm going to be using a metal tipped hook, as you can see. Then you're going to go back down and go up the right side this time. So once you reach the top, not the very top, you're going to go in diagonally. Now we're going to be placing these bands here, these colored ones. So I'm going to be using purple first. Uh-oh, bumped something there. And you're going to go, can't remember the order well. You're going to go straight up, and then you're going to come in from the left. And then you're going to come in from the right. So that's going to be the first one. You're going to take your next color. I'm going to be using blue. And you're going to go straight up. And you're going to take, this is the first whole one. You're going to go out, then back in. Going to go out, in. I'm going to take my third color, or fourth, depending on how you're counting. And I'm going to go up, out, in. You might want to push down your bands because there's going to be a lot of bands on each pin once you're finished. And then you're going to go in. So now I'm going to be using purple. Up, out, in, out, in. Use my second color, blue. Have to go up first, then out, in, out, in. Just going to repeat that pattern all the way up the loom, alternating colors for each little section. You can go out, out, in, or out, in, out, in. It doesn't matter what order as long as you get these two before these two. This bracelet takes a very long time to make, so you need a lot of time for it. And as I said, it puts a lot of stress on your bands and your hook. So you're going to want to have high quality bands and metal tipped hook if possible. You can find a metal tipped hook at rainbowloom.com as well as all sorts of different bands. I got these bands that I'm using right now in the rainbow pack. Mixed, opaque. There's nothing special about them. But these are rounded cross-section bands, and they are much more durable, and they look cooler on bracelets. They don't look as sloppy. So I'm almost to the end of the loom now. You're going to do your final few up here. So always remember to do the up band first, because that will be really important later when we're looping. So I'm doing my last one here, last full one. Then you're going to take your final color, and you're just going to end it like that. Alright, so now you're going to take your border color, make a cap band. You're going to put one end on the pin and twist it into a figure 8 using your fingers. I'm going to take the other end of the figure 8 and put it on there. So you have 2 loops of the same band on one pin. So now you can take your hook. Escaping blue band. And you're going to go in and pull up top green one. You're just going to pull it straight forward. And you're going to go and find the top pink one. Sure I grabbed the right band. You need to be able to find the right band that you're looking for in lots of bands on one pin, because that's what we're going to be doing for a lot of this bracelet. So next you're going to pull the green one on the left in, and the green one on the right, like that, so that they're all in the center. Then you're going to go up on the sides, just like that, your border bands. And you're going to loop it like that. Then you're going to go in and find the blue band on the outside on the left and pull it in to the rest of those green bands. This is where it gets really, really tricky. You're going to pull the other side in, just like that. And then you're going to pull these 2 other blue bands in, just like that. Then you're going to go down and find the bottom blue band in this right here. This one right there. And you're going to pull it out very carefully and pull it forward. That's how all these bands are going to stay together, so that your bracelet will look like this. If you forget to loop even one of these bands, your whole bracelet will fall to pieces. So then you're going to loop up on the sides, both of these. Then you're going to loop in, just like that. Push that down. Always make sure to do all the diagonal bands first before you do the vertical one. Alright, so when a band accidentally comes out, here's what you can do. You can go inside of the bands that it was supposed to be through and find it, and then you can just pull it through like that. And the way you know that it's the same is you look on the other side. and make sure that they are symmetrical. You're going to go in, find that bottom purple band, very bottom one. That's why it's important that you put on the vertical one first, because you won't be able to find it later. Then you're going to loop up again, and you're just going to be repeating that process all the way through the loom. And if one of my bands breaks, I'll be able to show you how to fix it. As I said, this bracelet will take a very long time because there are so many bands to loop for 2 pins. Make sure that you find the very bottom band down there. And how you'll know that it's the right one is when you pull it out, this center will sort of cave in on itself. This one, it hasn't yet because we haven't looped it. That's how you know you've gotten the right one. You're going to loop up and up again. Then you're going to loop in. So all of your colored bands in the center, you're going to be looping to the middle when you do. All the diagonal ones. All the border ones, you're going to just loop straight up. So that's one way to know if you're confused. Then you're going to find this one. So there you can see that caved in on itself. So your loom should look like this now. There's going to be a lot of bands on each pin, as you can see from the side. So let's continue looping. You're going to do the sides up to the purple bands. So then this came off. You can just put that back on. Usually when bands come off, they're pretty easy to fix. This is definitely an advanced bracelet, so if you are just starting Rainbow Loom, I wouldn't suggest taking this one. And that came off again. Having a bad day with bands. I'm just going to pull that through and out. You're going to pull that up. Pull both of these forward, then find the bottom band. Make sure you find just one band. And if it helps to look from the side to see which band you're hooking, you can always do that. So some of these bands might not be in the correct order on the pin. You just have to know which one you're looking for. Let's look from the side, find the right band, and carefully pull it out. I had 2 bands break on this one, and that's with these special rounded cross-section bands. So always want to be very careful when pulling out bands in a tight spot. So you're going to be looping left, right first, the way that you would read a book. You're going to start from the left side, then read the right side. And make sure that you loop all of the bands while you're doing this, because if you don't, the whole bracelet will fall apart, and we don't want that happening. So if something like this happens and you grab 2 bands, take the correct band and pull it and try to get it back down so that you can hook it easier and know which one. So try to find this in here. Don't know where it went. Alright, so my band is now lost. So I have to try to pull it out. It's my hook. There. So once you have it in the right place, then you can go and find it. Like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3.5 left to do, so we're getting pretty close compared to all the others that we've done. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Make sure that your bands get all the way around the pin, because if you have a loose band, it will not help your bracelet stay together. Oh, forgot to loop that one. Since this is so tight, you can actually let go of this if you loop it too early, because it's so tight. And if you see it starting to slip back down, then you can just grab hold of it. So then I've got this right here. Then you're going to pull up. Now I've only got 2.5 left to do. Getting very close to the end. I will be showing you how to make an extension for this bracelet if it was made on one loom. Because you can make it on 2 looms and expand it so that the whole way round is the bracelet, but I think that's too many bands to use and you're not going to be seeing the whole thing anyway. So I want to make sure to grab the right band here, and just one of them too. So pull that up, then put it there. I'm going to pull this forward. I'm going to pull this one down diagonally. It's the 3rd time that's happened. At least it's easy to fix. So I'm gonna pull that around. Pull this forward. Just like that. Make sure you grab the right one. Don't want to be grabbing 2 bands, and so always want to make sure you're grabbing the right one. So then you can pull these up. Just going to do the same thing with this half one. So then you're just going to pull this one out now, and you can pull all these to the center. There. So I'm going to flip this to that side. I'm going to take my border color. I'm going to make a quick little slip knot here so that I can use my hook to pull these bands off, since there are so many of them. So you're just going to pull both ends of the band on your hook. You're going to pull one end over the other, just like that, like a slip knot. Make sure that it stays tight. And then I'm going to stick my hook back in and carefully pull the whole bracelet off of the loom. If you pull too hard, you can break bands, so you don't want to rip them. So then you can pull your hook out of there. So there we go. My bracelet doesn't have all these sticking up things. Here's the side. But our bracelet is not finished yet. If you want them to stick up, you can pull on them, make them stick up like that. Looks pretty cool when you're wearing it. like that. So now I'm going to show you how to extend it. So you're just going to need 6 bands. You can use however many you want. I'm going to be using 6. So I'm going to start with blue, then green. You're just going to put these up in a single chain, however many you want. I use 6 to 7 bands. You're going to take that slip knot and just carefully pull it out, just like that. You can use your hook and go through those 2 loops there. I'm just going to use my fingers. So there, once you've got them separated, you can just place this on the end here, just like that. You turn your loom. Make sure when you're placing bands to always place them with the arrows pointing away, and when you're looping with the arrows pointing towards you. Otherwise it won't work too well. And you'll end up pulling all your bands off the loom. And they won't be in any sort of bracelet pattern at all. So you're just going to loop that straight forward like that. Then you can take your C-clip. You can pull this out and put it on there. And you can just pull the extension off the loom. You can find the other end, your cap band. Then you can pull it through the C-clip. And you're done. So if you want these little ridges to stick up here, you can pull them out so that it looks more like scales. And again, you can find my bracelets at, not my bracelets, my bands at rainbowloom.com. So pull all these up. I didn't have to do that with this one, it just did it on its own. But if you want them to stick up, you can pull them out. If you don't, then it will look like this side. So I'm so glad that you watched my video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!